Hello everybody, my name is Level 5, and of course, welcome to Level 5. This is the YouTube channel for geeky commentary videos based on movies, video games, TV shows, and comic books. And today, we're ranking my top 5 favourite Power Ranger morphers. Now, of course, that means we're dealing with just the primary morphers for the main team. The 6 Rangers do deserve their own top 5 ranking, so they'll be left for a later video. But with that being said, let's go. Now, before we dive in, of course, this is my personal top 5 favourite list, so I would love to hear your top 5 favourite Power Ranger morphers in the comments down below. With that being said, let's dive in with number 5. My 5th Ranger morpher that I deem one of my favourites is the Dino Charge Morpher. The Dino Charge Morpher is a weapon in on itself, being a blaster. This thing is literally a weapon, which begs the question why the Super Sentai that Ninja Steel was based off, they just adapt the fact that their morphers are swords, but that begs a different video. The blaster, it looks really cool, to be fair. It's a dinosaur themed blaster with this nice yellow and black highlights to it. It has a revolver mechanism, and of course they have their dino chargers, little cylinder things that they've got to slot into the middle of the front of the blaster. They've got to rev the blaster and then fire upward to channel the morphing grid to be able to morph, but it is a weapon in on itself. They literally have a gun as a morpher. This must actually be one of the most dangerous morphers out there, because realistically you could take down a small army of foot soldiers with just this and not even have to morph. By the way, that's insane. It's definitely one of the most dangerous and useful morphers out there, just not being a morpher. Sure, there are a few morphers out there with other functions and the ability to attack people, monsters should we say, but this one is definitely tops the cake, and the fact that it's so unique and there isn't a morpher like it for a primary team of Power Rangers definitely gets put in my top 5. For my 4th spot, we're going with the Rev Morpher from Power Rangers RPM. This morpher is given to the black and green Power Rangers. Sure, the main trio of morphers is cool. I like the whole RPM drives that they use to slot in, but I do prefer the Rev morphers. It's wristbound, they still slot in the Rev cartridges, whatever they're called, into the morpher and lock them in, which I do like that mechanic. I like it when there's something else that needs to be slotted in or triggered into a morpher, like the Dino Chargers for the Dino Charge Blaster. Then you got this little rev mechanic, this little lever that needs to be flicked up, which I quite like. I don't like the last pose they make, I think that's really dumb, but I do like the morpher in and of itself. It's like this dull gold colour with some black highlight and things. It's honestly a really cool and unique morpher. It follows the car theme because obviously RPM Zords are vehicles, their suits are like race car driver S-like suits and things, and it does kind of follow this theme with the little lever that you got to rev up, which I like. I like that a lot, and honestly it's one of the better car themed morphers out there. For my number 3 spot, and this obviously will be a bit controversial, I'm going with the Overdrive Tracker morpher from Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Now, of course, Power Rangers Operation Overdrive isn't that great. It could have been done a lot better, absolutely. And I definitely feel like it could have been done so much better. But when it comes to the fact that it's a bad season, doesn't mean you can't like something from it. And the Operation Overdrive morpher, being the Overdrive Tracker, has a lot of use for it. Because first off, it's a small little device that gets strapped to their shoulder. I love that little detail. It's a nice little handheld device. It rotates upward, giving you a bit of an extension, and then once a button is triggered, the very bottom of it rotates, which they normally just rotate down their arm, and that's what triggers the morphing grid to morph them, but that also enables them to have really interesting and different sort of morphing sequences when it comes to starting it. So for an example, the Red Ranger at one point just grinds it against his chest and morphs in this really like one flick of the wrist, which is really cool. And one of my favourite ones is the Black Ranger actually uses an opponent's sword and just rolls up the blade of it and uses that to morph. There's a lot of versatile different scenarios you can be put in where, for example, you can't reach your wrist morpher, or you can't reach the key to slot into your morpher. This can be used if you're pinned against something, falling from something, you know, if you're trapped or whatever. There's multiple ways you can use this morpher. You don't have to roll it down your arm. You can roll it against anything as shown in the show. And that's why it's one of my favourite morphers, because of the vast openness that it shows of what you can do with said morpher. Is really cool. I really do enjoy the ideas and concept of this morpher. For my second favourite morpher, I've got to give it to the Delta morpher from Power Rangers SPD. This thing is phenomenal. First things first, it's their badge. Literally, they're just like, hey, we're SPD. It literally acts as their badge. The morphing is a bit simple, sure. You literally just hold out and press a button, and then it will flip open. That's fine, but it also acts as their karma system. This morpher is literally judged during executioner. It literally dictates the karma of a monster and whether it determines to be put in prison or not. With this nice holographic green and X that appear, I really like the way they look. But if it does deemed it to be worthy enough to be put and locked up, they get turned into like a card, a holographic little card thing they're trapped in. Really like that too. I like morphers that do that sort of thing, or just technology that do that sort of thing in general. The Delta morpher is just, it's really simple. I like the white, I like the police-esque sort of like details to it. And then of course we have the Shadow Rangers, he's the 6th Ranger, sure, but I do like his morpher because it's all black, it looks really clean, all black as well. But yeah, it's meant to kind of symbolize a police badge of some kind, being white and with like red and blue highlights on it and stuff. It looks really smooth, but I just love the additional function of it being a judge, jury and executioner type device. It's really cool. And for my number one pick for Power Ranger morphers, it actually comes from another really terrible season, and that is the legendary morpher from Power Rangers Super Mega Force. I very much disapprove of Power Rangers Super Mega Force. I very much prefer the Super Sentai, but I do absolutely love the Legendary Morpher. I actually own one of the Legendary Morpher toys myself, and I do have some of the keys, and it's just such a cool concept, having the Rangers themselves all being these little figures. And of course, as we know in Super Mega Force, they can morph into multiple different Rangers. You just flick the bottom and it folds upward, revealing the key. And then it's a phone. It's the only phone morpher that I actually really do like. I mean, my favourite season of all time have phone morphers, and I'm not really a fan of them. When it comes to this phone, though, it has this really nice, like, detailing to the colour. Silvers, blacks and golds and things. You slot the key in the very middle of the bottom half of the morpher. When you turn it, the top half of the morpher kind of split open, revealing two cutlasses, kind of symbolizing the pirate theme, because yes, Super Mega Force, you're meant to be a bunch of pirates. And then that's when they morph, and once again they can morph into multiple different types of Rangers, and I really do enjoy that. I love that little, like I said, I like it when a morpher has an additional thing that they can slot in or trigger or whatever. I like it when a morph has a cool function, and if you've noticed, all 5 of my list actually have an additional thing that slots in, or an additional function they can use, or it's used differently. Legendary Morpher isn't a part of a good season, it's a terrible season, but like I said when it came to the operational tracker, or overdrive tracker, sorry, just because it's a bad season doesn't mean you can't take something good out of it. And I love the Legendary Morpher. I love the fact there's multiple different keys, just easy slot in, done. And I just, yeah, it's just such a cool morpher, such a cool, like, concept. And there we go. There are my top 5 favourite Power Ranger morphers. Core Team Edition, of course. The 6 Rangers do deserve their own, and I believe that my top 6 Ranger morphers will be from different seasons, or at least some of them will be. But that being said, though, I do want to hear your guys' opinions on what your top 5 favourite Power Ranger morphers are. Do let me know in the comments down below. When it comes to top 5s, what else can I do? I wanted to hear from you guys. What other top 5s? Doesn't have to be Power Rangers, it can be from different things. And I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts on that. And of course, with that being said, don't forget to hit that like button if you guys haven't already, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss another video from me. War of Passion, everybody. I love you all, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye.